Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, midgets and pimps, today is a very special day. It alerted other features of experiencers of days along the way, and as it did come to me, I found it very satisfying to be included in this that shall now come to pass. It's a bit strange, too, as it should be. Now, this is Cliff. Cliff took some time off, reformulated himself, but for reasons that I won't go too deep into because they don't really exist, I'm departing from Cliff. I'm saying bye to Cliff. Now, Cliff has one thing that I want, and I'm taking it. It's the ontological view. I like that. I'm going to stay on it. And by departing Cliff, and what's the reason for this? Well, it it may be strange because I don't know how to quantify the quantifier, but it did it to me. For me, it did it. It it put all the pieces where they needed to be like, oh, okay, bye to Cliff. It's gonna seem petty, but I don't think so because there are certain times where your intuition just straight evolves. It does a Pikachu move, gets abilities you just never fucking have an understanding of how life was before they entered into your life. And then there's other experiences because you didn't listen to your intuition or take it seriously. So you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, let me clear it up. What I'm saying and what is occurring here is a real rarefying of gnosis in like behavior of men. How we're supposed to be spread apart in certain ways and are guided that way in the animal perfection of things you smell. Women are already known to be moved by these things, but men are a question mark. No, we're not. We don't like to be around other men. We don't like seeing more men. We can tolerate the dick of the guy in the porno, but other than that, normal horny men are not comfortable around other men. This is the nature. This is the real nature in the male. Now, how it's warped, which I'm just say it is. Let's just notice that it is. It's very warped. Another truth that's hidden in this bundle is the value of Heidi. Because Heidi, I don't really know Heidi, but it's something about Heidi I know well enough to know that she's the right prize. He said a bunch of weird shit. I don't need any more program fucking uncle to nephew programming from MK Ultra. I'm not entirely saying that's what it is, but it is enough for me not to need to go any further here and can rightly move along. Now, and it does take me into the specifics in an area where my vibes are telling me to correct, and they don't really have a way through because of the landmine field of such a disruptive fucking not realities all around us. Not real things that we've taken time out of our days, accommodated for, put in ramps for not handicapped people, weird, useless things that needed not be. Because just whatever you need to know. You could imagine an example of something not being legit. Well, this makes real legitimate shit stand out. How could it not occur? So this feeling that I have of made the wrong move, need to correct, is rooted in some very sound nature that I get into. And I direct this lady, this truth coming out to the lady because it is partially due to the strange gravity that just is inherited that is unaware occurs with you, because there's a direction and a very keen desire to survive that, from me having it and you maybe not, seems weird but acceptable. And then spend enough looking at lady's face to reconstruct some form of greaterness that did occur. So I can't say it was all bad, but there's an overwhelming natural feel that I'm right. Even if I'm told to be wrong, I'm right, because I know whatever way was not. So there. If you can take that seriously after the time, you'll know how seriously. Now, there was a bit of stress in navigating the potentialities that the ability to move and navigate did suggest. I don't take it lightly, but I should be able to upgrade, access, and beat any of that bullshit if I'm outside of the programs and I'm not going that direction, right? God should give me some sort of clearance. Yeah, he did. It did. However that occurs. It would not work without that. The direction free of the MK Ultra is this other way, away from the Hispanic and all the weird connections. Not to say they're bad, but to say that that way is the past. I don't think you should go to the past. I think business would be done. Maybe it is an angel watcher. Not sure. Sure would be hard to fuck that lady who doesn't cheat on her husband, but it is more of a real reality than I care to admit. How the things that are said in this, the past and then the future. I got some decoder ring shit happen to me, and I'm not able to deal with the world the same way. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying. That's so there. I know it's new to me too. All right, this is specifically to Blue Eagle. Blue Eagle is an attractive lady that one night was a man and wanted to fuck me. Now, me, I don't have no pussy. I was a little bit shocked when I saw that there was something for that would make butt pussy. And I was shocked even more, because I thought I had a whole nother. I was so afraid that this was actually a not woman, because this lady, when I first saw her, I liked it. I liked what I saw. And then I noticed there was some dissonance where you can meet somebody briefly and then have some ability to recall the visions that you have of them. And I know that we like fucking with that, because I've seen a lot of girls' fat pictures expressing that talent. And then I, for a brief time, had a girlfriend who I probably wouldn't have fucked. And let's just say after that weekend, I was okay with it. But I customized her picture in the profiles to be one very specifically attractive one that didn't really look like her, that she had created, and I had a relationship with that, which didn't go anywhere, except when I tell you and bring out all the real details, they're going to make a lot of sense, because they are major fucking details that are almost dismissed, but this will fucking, you got sidetracked. Okay. So, however it needed to be, I have an experience looking back upon it that it's another destiny thing. How many times do you have an actual female that you want to fuck? This is a woman that is a very special thing. Now, if she wants to be a man and transforms, I don't think I'd find that situation arise in any other way. I'm not only not offended, I navigated it correctly, seem to have some sort of knowing about how to handle that. in a very keen way. I'm not saying anything because I don't have any other information. That seems like the Lord's work as far as I'm concerned, because I had extra ways to go about it. You told all the guys at work that some lady did this thing to you. I sure as hell did. And they were weirded out by my sharing it, but they didn't get to confuse it with any real attempt of saying it was something that I did. It was something could have gone wrong. Not only didn't even get a chance, I think I saw the act of God murdering that in a crib. What I'm trying to say. That's difficult English. You reckon now why I got to drive this back point to the lady. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me be as perfectly male first, because this is the truth. Number one, that I'm anchored into, and it's not negotiable. It's the main factor because it's the most influencing reality of a false reality one way and a truth coming this way from where I'm going to bring it. A lot of deception there. But there's some very simple truths. Now, for me, they're strong. But after this last time of having this visit with her, a couple days after it had passed, there was a strange but overwhelming feeling of something went wrong. Now, with the way that it was, I could have picked many details. Many things could have been, but there's one thing that I know, and I don't know why it raises up above all of them, but I'll tell you, I'm telling you, remember who you're talking to. I know this is the seriousness of the emotion. For being a guy, it seems more the case, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. And every moving piece in my being's reaction to reality is already moved, because there's a great dread at like letting an opportunity be missed, because the reality is I want to do everything you would think. I don't want to say it. I haven't got to that level where I can just talk like that to somebody that I'm saying fucking. I'm meaning, you know where it's going. And dealing with enough bullshit of a fake world, this is the real miracle here. Is that this girl, you drove from Lockhart and came to spend some time in the way that you did. The only thing I would do differently and am is taking it seriously that I should have put out and now know better. You might say, no, that's not the case. I'm sorry. I have to disagree, and let me tell you why. Because there's been a lot of fucking dumbass shit I've thought about women and where they're coming from. But in regards to you, I take you very seriously. And about the third time you said some shit that just started making me having real horny thoughts. And you came into this room. There is no way. You have no idea how long I tried to get on that vine you sat on with lesser humans. If you do the meditating thing and then that vine, that's a very special place. That whole time I spent in the river, now mind you, we both have an affinity to a medicine that may be, a liberator of certain inhibitions. So I do have that experience of heavily renewing the day, starting at River, where I think I suggested if we should go there. I didn't have a plan. I wasn't experiencing. I wasn't trying to drive the bus or do nothing dumb like that. But I had a super epiphany in regards to what's going on, and I have it because it's a fucking. So here's something special that you can't replace in this person that you are, in this experience. It's very valuable to me. Like my dead father and mother both came into an experience separately, but in this amount of time, causing me to have a whole renewal in and repair work where a lot of it was misunderstandings and mistakes of the past me. Some of it was just disrespect and to the game, I can't fix. But the day there was a literal explosion in my heart of fucking unconditional love for the person that she is in my life as a catalyst to what needs to happen. That's the feeling I have that transferred to you. And there's nothing I can do about it. It happened. I've been looking to see what it was. Hispanic. She's now married a Hispanic guy, but has had this programmed relationship so bad that went to Mexico, lived there. All the family members go to Mexico at 17, all white women. So, look, I'm going to be as uninterested as I can be and really not be judgmental any further. But my level of how to comprehend what's going on there is only going to say one thing I'm pretty sure is going on is the mind control programs set up by our governments. That doesn't mean I don't take what your relationship is with your dude. I don't really have anyone to get any more information than you because I just don't have any interest. I don't. I noticed there was a heavy amount of detail that came out. It was like a emotional. It came out, but there was other weird things going on that should have been just some real pleasant pleasures that had the mind and the proper me been configured, that would have been what it had happened. And these things would be bested in the way that you would really spiritually warfare correctly. And that wasn't what happened, though. Well, that doesn't mean defeat. I guess not. No, I guess not. If fucking what has happened is a fucking Rubik's Cube of the universe from my perspective. But no, this is what occurs. I can't take credit for it. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. The connection is the same. Either way. There's a very dismissive feeling that is possible. And I could get an experience where you just doesn't take any of that seriously at all. That would be very heavy of a thing to occur, especially when somebody has chosen you to connect with because of it being a professional experience and just a natural occurrence to want to bond. It makes sense, and in a not normal way, it does make sense. And a lot of the elements that would normally repel a less informed or whatever me are not occurring. Something else occurs. Case in point, the girl came as a man and gave me a bit of myself. Now, I don't, like I said, I don't think that that was bad. I can't even tell you how good it might have been because there was not a negative response to it, except for I was let down having imagined that, oh shit, we're going to have the time I'd like to have. And that time we discovered a little bit more that we had in common. We ate some mushrooms. I tripped balls. I lost the other mushrooms. She took off. Uh, it may have been an embarrassing thing, but I don't think it needs to be bad at all, especially after having come back and I got to look again. A simple look upon a lady reignites the important thing that's going on here. The connection is connecting, correct? Because now all the dispelled. I had a brief period of time where I thought maybe that she was a guy because that thing looked like it was real, just enough. But this is not me saying something bad. No, I think that's an important part of this equation because most of the most important details are fabricated or put into that alignment that I am in because I asked for help and it's the Lord, whatever that thing is, that had given me the advice or clue, and I take it because no one expects that. When I tell people that men think this way, they go, they don't want to accept that. And you can see it play out in the world. I should maybe feel some sort of way about my will to, have some of that. I'm still resisting it in a way because I absolutely want to have that time. And what did we do? Well, we had some awkward time, but it was all the awkwardness that arises. Why is the awkwardness not going to be awkward to me? Because I have quantified why these other elements are not acceptable to be pursued for me. That I can actually lead away from area maybe not desired if that person represents the programming. And it sounds like it to me. I mean, that may sound one sided if that's your husband and I'm wanting to put a penis in you, because usually that should be examined. But I'm now examining it for you with the light of truth that it deserves. There's an overwhelming emotion that I don't normally factor in that tells me this experience, I know it too well. It was a simple, I want this. There was a lot of talk, a lot of dirty talk of things that were absolutely the case possible. Now, maybe the alignment was incorrect the wrong way. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how to actually bring these issues up because of now my handling is over. Like I'm way too, I don't even know how to send a message. I don't even want to send the second message because you don't want to disrupt the whatever's going on. I don't care to disrupt it. It's a form of respect that I'm giving it. Now, this is contrary to the point of view. There was a birthing that occurred also when I realized and wanted to ask my ex if, in fact, she wasn't getting enough dick. Because when she had committed adultery upon me, one of the occasions was cleared, but actually, she at any time, and I had no way to know, had other things going on that only the programming to do these activities separate from your relationship to husband, and it was, but they ran independently and were non-negotiable or not removed. So in a way, I feel cheated by that to some degree, but I'm just saying I don't want to participate or I don't want to be in that relationship to marriage again. The beginning of that was when she told me, and it was on that day, that she was married. I have to tell you something, I'm married. That was the first time anyone else became husband other than me. Some guy, some Hispanic guy, she's married, has his last name. He's a believer in God, and he's the new me. At the moment, probably the critical moment where, right before I think we met you, I had to break her heart and my own because we didn't fuck. She did a lot of damage control to even stay 2 days. So I can understand why she was pissed, and she was when she left, because she wanted to fuck. She had it, she came, she had made enough predestined arrangement to be able to pull that off, because that's who she was, especially with me. Me and her was some sort of fit. That's the most disturbing thing about it. This is somebody that it was a different form of relationship. Indeed, it feels like a nodding and a pass off because a lot of the elements just suggest that this is the case. So, letting that sort of thing exit stage, whatever, isn't going to be something I'm going to be able to do without just putting it out there. It represents catastrophic failure, not noticing that simple truth. That I needed to take it seriouser than I was. Or everything went fucking wrong. Because we have all men have been beat up in this thinking that is totally fucked up and foreign to what we know and find to be the case. Whatever the common ground is, isn't useful. It isn't. And that's all I'm going to say. Now, it's going to be uncomfortable if you mention to me substances. I might get paranoid, especially if there's a relationship with a husband. That's going to turn into a cop's maybe doing something to me to some degree to me. Because what do I have to filter it out of? Oh, relationship that's more professional than myself. Okay, that's giving credit. Giving due respect when still wanting to fuck somebody else's wife without losing any steam. I'm still able to pull that off correctly, I feel. And not violating my own very strange rules for life program. Get person away from that. It's not doing them good. This is as close as I can get to being anti-relationship in that respect. It's gotta be something about that that's good. I didn't know what to think about it. Normally, I'm very disappointed with myself when I don't take someone else's situation seriously. But I do take it seriously because I was a husband who was affected by finding shit out like that. So I don't have a willy-nilly opinion on fucking other people's wives. Actually, I take that very seriously. But then I also had another factor that greatly changed my whole view and take on the world. Is that in situations where a woman who I'm attracted to, being in a marriage or not, can be permitted in some sort of way, whatever that means. It doesn't really matter. It's not an issue like that because you could write a note yourself. If there's a reasonable, it doesn't even need any license. I was so disturbed by how willing I am to have another form of relationship that lets me fuck anything else. And what I experienced from having to experience that was very disturbing to me, actually, because there's a lot of protections marriage would create, having done right, that in a certain experience that I learned uh, did not exist or occur with this questioning wonderment that continues to uh, infiltrate my mind. Because the greatest real enemy is wondering what may be in the rules. Because nothing came out that defended or tried to push, because there was too much inside that had been repressed that wanted fucking. I had just had a mass exodus in one direction towards an attractive person in my life of legions of the spirits or something to that case that just left and went towards her because nothing was stopping them. It was very like a almost opposite of a fucking being demonized in a way, because even now it's difficult because there's nothing that arises to resist it other than me telling you that marriage would give good protections to this. But my friends are not married. Their relationships shapeshiftedness only creates more of a problem for me, because it makes me wonder if the possibility to connect the dots that already is connected in my mind every time I've looked with attractiveness towards a lady friend of mine. Who, I'm telling you, mentally, there's all kinds of fuckery that's gone on for years. I've not ceased imagining ways this has gone on. It never stopped. Getting in their relationship did not stop it. It created a new level of awareness in our fakeness with each other, society, and whatever. And I am not deviating away from it. You're not going to be fucking with your friend's family? That's my primary loyalty, is not to be fucking with dude shit. And it's more of an awareness that I'm locked into than anything I can say about the other situation as another form of nature that has been abused by mankind. Because I'm not capable of interloping in that sort of way. I am capable of another type of way, more capable than I'd like to admit, which it may be a little bit of a difference, but it's a big difference. By having the freedom to put this forward, to tell you that this is not just willy-nilly shit, that bringing this up from me was an experience of encountering the lack of the truth in others, not me's. And I don't think it's impossible for me to project onto others that they are the same as me. That's normally a projection that occurs irresponsibly in most cases and unwanted in some. But in the case for mankind, you can see it's happening every day. Some men decide to go into the camp of women, affecting all women. Well, this is the exact complete opposite of what all these problems have come from. Because this is me saying, this is men. How we are. From me in the mastery of it, where I am with myself. So I'm sorry if I have to project to you lying ass motherfuckers that have relationships with women. This is the way you think about things in your day-to-day life. It doesn't cost a man any different time. He's already doing it. He masters it. He lies. It says it's not the case. He's been raised up in this false reality that would be a good idea. And guess what? I'm going to tell you straight. It's not a good idea at all. For the individual, let's look at how bad it is. Every time, oh, I'm a devil, a witchcraft lord devil, always associated with some weird shit